Alright guys, I'm on a little drive, so I'm going to try something which is not yelling at you. I'm going to be polite and moderate with the few people that still watch my channel, and hope it gets out to the wider world, because we really all have to have a come to Jesus moment now. Now it's New Year's and Trump's bombing Venezuela, right? We really have to have a come to Jesus moment where we talk about the facts and not the fictions being produced by the oligarchy and their captured media assets, okay? Who they themselves are being paid off and subverted by foreign actors, right? We have to have the conversation, okay? And so, I'm going to start with the vaccines. Look, you do not want to be the last person to be wrong about the fucking corona vaccines, all right? Every bit of information that is supposing that these are a vaccine and not a fucking weapon is a lie. It's self-evidently a lie. You don't even have to dig that deep into the literature or conspiracy theories. You can simply go to the VAERS database, which tracks vaccines by lot number, okay? And so, every vaccine batch, it's called a batch code. This is a standard industry practice. Every vaccine batch is, quote, batch coded, which is an alphanumeric code. So it's 2 letters followed by numbers, right? Kind of like a license plate, but just for that little set of vaccines. So the American public was told there were 4 boosters. However, I'm going to point out at this point that there were way more than 12 alphanumeric codes. There's LGs, ENs, and EVs. There's something like 12. It's on the VAERS database. I think it's between 8 or 12. Okay, so if there's between 8 or 12 alphanumeric designations, that means self-evidently there's more than 4 types of fucking shots. Right? If it's between 8 and 12, self-evidently. Right? On top of that, the EN batch was roughly 1,000 to 3,000 times more lethal, and led to 1,000 to 3,000% more vaccine complications than all the rest, and went to specific populations. Kentucky and the Pacific Northwest, Oregon and Washington were the ones most heavily hit by this specific by this targeting. So it was effectively a weapon. The vaccine was effectively a weapon, and every person who died from the vaccine, I have to say, functionally there is not much of a difference between them dying from that vaccine, which was a bioweapon. Functionally, there's not much difference between that and if a bunch of people had shown up, pulled your neighbors out, and shot them in the back of the fucking head. Functionally, it's the same thing. If anything, if a bunch of people had shown up, dragged your neighbors out of their house, and shot them back in the back of the head at equal rates to the fatalities from the vaccine, that technically would have been more humane because they wouldn't have suffered. We're still tallying the damage from this, okay? I know in my community there are a lot of people pushing it. There are a lot of people pushing this vaccine shit in my community. We were one of the least likely to push it, but that it got pushed by members of this community here in Nevada fucking County is absolute fact. That it got pushed by our board of supervisors is twice that fact. Currently, the board of supervisors in Nevada County are guilty of fucking war crimes. What do we do about this situation? I'm serious. If you're in the comments, what do we do about this situation? The people running our county right now are guilty of literally one of the worst war crimes to happen in human history. Right? They are guilty of the equivalent of what Hitler was doing. They are guilty of that. That's reality, guys. That's reality. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a fantasy. That is the no shit reality of the situation we find ourselves in. Okay? What do we do about it, right? Now, Trump's off bombing Venezuela, and there's a lot. It's oil. It's population, guys. It's just population. Okay? It's not oil. It's not economy. It's not money. It's population. Okay? So there's a data aggregate right? And there is between 470 and 700 males who now fit globally, mind you. We're only going to be up to between 18 and 24 million in the United States by 2045 if nothing changes, right? But there's between 470 and 700 million males who are disenfranchised anthropologically, i.e. it's the anthropological terminology of disenfranchisement. This does not mean they don't have a job or they're homeless or just really having trouble getting it together. It means they have effectively zero potential access to mates. Zero. None. Zero. Hard zero. This is mostly happening on the Eastern continent, places like India, Pakistan. I mean, it would be Israel if they weren't part of the massive human sex trafficking happening all over the fucking world, alongside the Mormons and these fucking South and Central American cults. But, the reason that this trafficking situation is so prevalent throughout these countries and this disenfranchised male situation is so prevalent comes down to polygamy, right? There's all these interesting things about the human body that people don't know about, that people are just basically unaware of, that is basic biological natural science, in their field, right? And one of those basic things is when you create polygamous cults or harem situations, right? Whether it's pimps and hoes, or princes and consorts, or sheiks and harems, or that one dude who has 10 girlfriends because he's rich, but really it's temporary and we're all just friends, even though it's this one dude hanging out with these chicks just fucking them all the time. The problem is when you create those situations, the pregnancies that result from those situations are overwhelmingly male. This is a pattern that is duplicated and tracked and can be aggregated now with AI through every polygamous culture that is overtly polygamous on Earth. An example I often bring up is this one dude, the Prince of Qatar. He had 168 children, but only out of that 168 children, he only had 40 daughters. And that's because he was one of these sheiks. He was basically constantly surrounded by females who had economically and geographically segregated because he basically existed inside of a fucking caliphate. And so most of his children were male. When most of your children are male, this leads to inbreeding, right? Because okay, you produce 70 sons, or however many, 168, so 112 sons, 40 daughters, right? That means those 100, they have no choice but to either parasitize outside their group, creating war, right? Or inbreed with these daughters, right? So you get one woman, multiple partners, right? And this over time leads to inbreeding. This is why we see such high rates of inbreeding in places like Somalia, an openly polygamous culture, okay? India, fucking Pakistan has 68% fucking inbreds, and inbreeding is not healthy for the human genome for a variety of reasons. Well-known fact, this is basic biological knowledge is a large-scale inbreeding of first cousins and brothers and sisters leads to problems with the human genome. This is not new information. This is basic biological science, okay? So they've been practicing this over in the Middle East pretty consistently through every caliphate, whether it's an Indian caliphate or the Israeli caliphate, they are all, as far as I know, or the great majority of them, they practice overtly polygamous culture. Muslims, as a culture, are all overtly polygamous, right? It doesn't come up a lot, but they might believe they should get 72 virgins in heaven, but they all believe they should have 4 wives here, right? And that's a problem. Right, because that means all the people engaged in these practices are creating sexual imbalance. They're birthing way more males than females. Okay. On top of that, abortion, women abort daughters more than sons. And you don't have to take my word for it. There's data on this that you can look up, but it has to do with estrogen. Because of estrogen, if a woman does abort, if a woman has the option to abort and she has a daughter, she's more likely to abort. All right. So just so everybody is on the same page and we all understand what that means is that as long as abortion is available, women will prefer to abort daughters at higher rates than sons, which means abortion in of itself is female genocide. So if you're pro-abortion, you support female genocide. Okay? So polygamous sheiks and harems birth more sons, an unnaturally high amount of sons, because the ancient brain is like, oh my God, there's no men around, you can't survive in the jungle, and makes certain adjustments within the body to help select for sex and conception, and pushes these men who are in the sheiks and harems for having tons of sons, right? You can see the same thing in reverse with soldiers. Soldiers overwhelmingly have daughters. It's a mix because they have super high testosterone, so they can protect that daughter in a wilderness situation and keep her getting from knocked up too early. Then also they spend a lot of their careers surrounded by men, and so the ancient brain is there are no women around. In order to live within this jungle, we're going to have to produce more daughters, right? So that's why soldiers have lots of daughters, right? Especially if they get a woman pregnant while they're in the service or right after they get out of the service. Okay, so it's the pattern is like obvious to everybody, you know. So everyone who says I'm wrong, are you not using your eyeballs, right? And you know, you'd think that it would even out, but it doesn't actually even out, because soldiers die more than shitheels who parasitize off everyone to have to have massive prostitution rings and sell access to prostitution rings. They don't die as often, so they have way more kids, so they have way more sons, and the soldiers have daughters, basically, which leads to population imbalance. Plus the abortion technique, where, once again, abortion is female genocide. Okay? So between the overbirthing of males and the over-aborting of female fetuses, this is what creates disenfranchised males, i.e. males who have effectively little to no access to potential mates. Everyone's like, oh, it's America, it's fine, everything's great here. No, it's not. Because the other thing that creates disenfranchisement is ecological and geographic separation, right? Like, and mind you, I'm not coming this from a position like this is affecting me. I'm coming from this as the position this is going to affect my children, right? Should I choose to have children? Should I choose to stabilize in a way and have a family and right? This is all going to affect, oh, this is one way. This is all going to affect my children. So, you know, it's just, it becomes a problem, right? It becomes a fucking problem. You know, not only that, it's going to affect me because it's going to be a massive war, right? So if we look at what's happening in Europe, right? Europe is based like, man, I'm just going to call it like it is. I just can't do this anymore, guys. I can't keep explaining to you like you're two, okay? If you're pro-abortion, you're wrong. If you're fucking pro-polygamy, you're wrong. You are flat wrong, right? Any polygamous organization, whether you're talking prostitution or an OnlyFans manager and there's 20 bitches, any of those lead to disenfranchisement. Compound the physical disenfranchisement that's already happening with ecological and economic and geographic isolation. Okay? So, like, if you're an advocate of those positions, you're an advocate of everything that creating male disenfranchisement creates, which means you're an advocate for war, right? If you're pro-polygamy, if you're pro-abortion, you are pro-war. If you are pro-polygamy, if you are pro-abortion, you are pro-pedophilia. If you are pro-polygamy, if you are pro-abortion, you are pro-rape. Because these positions, integral in these positions, is the creation of environmental stimuli which create an uptake in those phenomena. This is just basic facts, right? It's just basic facts, guys. Right? So stop being fucking whores. It's really fucking easy. You don't like that Venezuela's getting bombed? You know why Venezuela's been getting bombed? Because of that 470 to 700 million disenfranchisement. 120 million of that disenfranchisement comes from literally the isolation of women in polygamous cults. I have all the fucking data on this, by the way. And if you don't believe me, please peer review it. All right, it's a fucking data aggregate. It's just numbers that anyone could count up, right? So I'm not making shit up, right? So like 120 million of that 470 million, 120 million of that is coming from is coming from, what do you call it? Is coming from the collapse of women into polygamous cult-like structures. This could be OnlyFans studios, it could be Jared Leto's island, it could be Hugh Hefner's mansion. Like, technology has compounded that practice, right? And so basically, like I said before, a lot of that collapse is happening in Central America through cults that are like, that run through fucking town. Like, we have them in town. I'm tired of pretending that we're not part of the human trafficking fucking circuit of the Jewish fucking oligarchy as Nevada County is. This is what we fucking are. I hate to be a dick to everybody, and if you think that's a conspiracy theory, like, there are people in town who know that's not a conspiracy theory, right? Like, they know that's not a conspiracy theory because they participate in a fucking cult, right? This whole sheiks and harem shit, guys, is the direct reason we're seeing war in Venezuela, right? So when any liberal is pro-sexual freedom in the form of polygamous cult-like relationships or pro-abortion, they are pro the war in Venezuela because their practices have created the environmental phenomena that have created the war in Venezuela and in the Middle East and what's happening in Europe, okay? The cultures we're importing all practice this. The the Muslims all practice polygamy overtly, which leads to overbirthing of males and parasitization of neighboring cultures. Okay? Not all cultures are created equal. So it's just like, if you're one of these, like, if you're this leftover 60s lady, you're wrong. If you're a liberal tie-dye wielding fuck, you're wrong. You're probably a pedophile. Oh, that's another thing. When you take males who've been hypersexualized, right, i.e. they have had a harem or they have a harem, when you take males that have been hypersexualized in this way, they create sexual addiction in their heads, and as they age, they become pedophiles. Most pedophiles were hypersexualized males. Most pedophiles were fucking a lot of chicks before they became a pedophile. They go through they're like caterpillars. They're a straight dude who's fucking a lot of chicks, then there's a bi dude who's addicted, then there's a fag, and then here's a fucking pedophile. It's like a fucking, And that's just the way nature works and biology works, right? So it's just like, it's a come to Jesus moment from it. Are you pro-pedophilia or anti-pedophilia? Are you pro-war or anti-war? Are you pro-rape or anti-rape? Right? And if you're anti-rape, war, and pedophilia, that means you necessarily have to be anti-polygamy and anti-fucking prostitution and anti-abortion. You inherently have to embrace those fucking positions because of the phenomena that those positions create, which is this male disenfranchisement on a fucking global basis, and an uptick in war, rape, murder, blah, 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 right? So how do we handle this? Right? We got a board of supervisors already pulled out, that's why they're doing all these callings, killing people, right? And so it's just like, this county's super liberal, but most of this liberalness is being imported. Most of this liberal behavior is technically being imported. So it's just like, it's just like it's time. I'm just so like it's time to own it, guys. Please own it. I'm speaking as a friend, trying desperately to get my fucking community to wake up before the fucking purge starts, guys. This is not gonna work. The shit you're doing, if you believe in this shit, is not gonna work. Okay? It's already between 470 to 700 million. There are literally fucking AK-47s in Europe right now because of massive swaths of disenfranchised male slaves fleeing Pakistan or the Middle East via Toyota trucks and camels and coming into Europe in fucking waves, okay? And you're all like, well, this affect me. 48 fucking mosques have opened up in Texas, all right, in the last 2 years. Do you know it's only a fucking two-day drive from here to fucking Texas? Did you know that? You don't think, like, Zohan Mamdani's an open fucking Muslim. Although he's also an open Jew somehow. Really, he's just a lying fucking clown from a cult of excess that's still kicking around from India, Middle East somewhere. That Rajneesh, like, this is another Rajneeshi, basically. Okay? How do we take power back from the HR cat ladies currently colluding to murder their own fucking children without even realizing it in this county? How do we do it? How do we do it? Where are the cops? Can someone forward this to the fucking GVPD? Someone forward this to the fucking cops. I promise I'm not gonna fuck anyone's shit up. We all know me. Like, if you know, you know, right? Like, I've been working on the same fucking problems forever in the reality situation. I've been trying to get my community to help me, but because you're all fucking weeded out, wannabe ghetto gangbangers, you're too stupid to help me. But I'm not allowed to go to the fucking cops because of the culture I grew up in, and so it's like, I don't want anyone to think I'm stitching. It's a joke, guys. It's a fucking joke, okay? Like, I'm just so frustrated. Please hit me up, somebody who understands what I'm saying, right? But, like, don't hit me up like, no, if you're one of these fucking culties, dog, you understand there's lists being made right now all over the country. Like all over the fucking country, okay? All right, if you're one of these covert Islamists, fucking Jaw Mikey 1, like, you're not long for this world, motherfucker. It's not up to me. It is time for all of you motherfuckers to get clean, or get bit, or get the fuck out of America. Like, you think you have control of shit because you're not, because you dope people up and you outsmart people who are have the intelligence of fucking children because you doped them up. But you know, there's a lot of people in this country that still don't. I know you're all spoiled from being in Northern California and you're used to all, like, everything, but, like, a lot of people don't do drugs, dog. You know, a lot of people can do drugs and put them down like it's fucking nothing, you know? And so it's just like, I'm just so sick of you fucks, man. I'm so sick, like, if you're a woman, can I give you some advice? Stop being a fucking whore. Like, that's number one. What is a whore? It is a woman who sleeps with fucking men for the economic value they provide and don't care about them past that. If you're a dude, stop making fucking whores. Stop paying for fucking affection. Stop giving these women shit when they, like, don't deserve it. Right? Like it's just so fucking frustrating. Like that the link between certain practices and what's happening in the world that everyone's mad about is so clear. All right, America is not a country that's built on pedophilia. America has never been that. America is not a country that has been built on polygamy. America has never been that. Have, like, groups infiltrated from time to time and cause problems? Yes, that's what we're literally dealing with right now, you know. But, like, it is so against our culture, even despite everything that's fucking going on, polygamy is still technically illegal in all 50 states. Because when this country was founded, people in America that grew up in America before all this bullshit happened with 9/11 grew up with, like, Ranger Rick guys. We know a lot about, like, how nature works. And yet we're constantly disrespected and called ignorant by literal fucking monkeys from the other side of the fucking world. And if you're insulted by that, fuck you, you motherfucker, you bigamous piece of shit, you fucking retard, man. Okay? Like, God, I'm pissed, dude. God, I'm just so fucking pissed. Just because it's hard not to be. We had our whole town got together in 2019 and we're like, yo, don't commit war crimes, guys. Don't do shit that creates rape and murder, guys. Don't do shit like that. You know? And they just did it anyway. They just fucking did it anyway. And now where the fuck are we? Our local economy is collapsing. We have fucking morons moving in here to build housing that no one wants, because no one wants to live in a fucking ghetto, motherfucker. This is going for Soul, what's his name? Gonna build another fucking ghetto. Just what we fucking need. And when it fails, like they all fucking fail, What's he gonna do? He's gonna import. I'll just bring a bunch of slaves in and put them on fucking Section 8 using the Indian fucking human trafficking pipeline of their third fucking cousins to escape their bad cultural practices to get rich off your fucking tax dollars without your permission. And my fucking shitty real estate aunts and my shitty Mormon real estate uncles who own all this land will keep artificially inflating the fucking house market to force you into my ghetto so they can pretend their shitheel son is a fucking success. Alright, like, we don't need any more houses, guys. Here's another fucking thing in the New Year's. Here's a fact for you. Go on to homes.com and look at how many fucking empty fucking houses there are throughout the entire fucking country right now. Okay? Like, go look it up. Look it up. There's millions of empty fucking houses in the country right now. Not to mention that, because everything I'm talking about before, there's a fucking population collapse coming. It's already began. The women that, like, how do I put this? The women that should have had kids spent too long in the fucking whore circuit, being strong, empowered women by fucking dudes who don't give a shit about them, and now they're all going infertile all at once, so everyone who's thinking they're gonna just get a younger 22-year-old, you're fucking retarded, right? Like, because they didn't get born, because they didn't get made, because none of these chicks had sex, and now all these chicks who have, like, who's gonna take care of them? Like, there's this idea that, like, dudes like me are gonna why am I gonna take care of them? I didn't make these fucking hoes. I have been a staunch proponent of not making these fucking hoes my entire fucking life. My entire fucking life. You know, because I'm against fucking, you know, I didn't have the words to describe basic things that I seen with my eyes because I had Ranger Rick growing up, which is just about how nature works. I had to go learn how to talk to you dumb motherfuckers. But, like, yeah, I've always been against things that God's against, which is, i.e., things that destroy the whole fucking world, which is polygamy, prostitution, fucking abortion, all this shit. Right? Like, it's so easy. It's so easy to do good things, and none of you fucking do it because it's not even something you have to do. It's just shit you have to not do. Don't create fucking covert polygamous cults, guys. Don't engage in prostitution. Don't engage in fucking OnlyFans. All this shit, man, it's the basic key to fucking not fucking up your entire ecosystem and your population and your culture. It's the basic key to not creating child rape and not creating rapists and not creating aggressive and warlike behavior in captured male populations. The basic key to that is sexual responsibility. It's not, you know, and to be sexually fucking responsible, all you have to do is do what your body naturally wants to do because your lizard brain is what's the word I'm looking for, is convinced that if you have a kid, you're going to be responsible for feeding it. You know, but unfortunately black people don't have that instinct as much. This is more of a white phenomenon, and I'm not being racist. It's for a reason. Right? Food. Depends on, not all black people from the desert, maybe they might have a thing. Black people from America are different from black people recently arrived from Jamaica because there was a epigenetic selection period about, America is like, how do I put this? We had an epigenetic selection period of about 200 years where people who were not high trust and did not keep their word got shot regardless of fucking color. Right? Because everyone had a gun and we were in a large range rural society and you couldn't afford fuck-ups. You couldn't afford them. And so if someone was fucking up the whole town with their bullshit, they got shot. And so we all come from that background. Black or white or whatever. Alright, but the black person recently arrived from Jamaica is not the same as the multi-generational fucking black man here. They're not the same fucking person. They've had different epigenetic stressors. The multi-generational black man over here from long-time America is going to want a wife. He's going to be Christian, basically. He's going to want a wife and a kid and a homeostatic situation going. He's going to internally want that because of the epigenetic stressors that occurred throughout America over the last 200 years, right? The black dude Jamaica doesn't give a shit about any of that shit because there's food all over in fucking Jamaica. He'll fuck every bitch in town, dude. He doesn't give a fuck. You're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, it's not actually great, right? It's not actually great, guys, because then you create a sheik and harem situation because we don't have interscene warfare like in Jamaica because we have a stable society. So we're not killing each other off all the time. So this guy's going to be more reproductively successful than he would be in his own fucking country, leeching off our fucking system, creating a bunch of bastard children who now have to go do the same fucking thing to fucking compete with daddy, who is eventually gonna fuck his own kids. Like, look at the rates of fucking child abuse in the fucking black ghettos, guys. Okay? The days, and I'm not making this a white-black thing, by the way, I'm making this an American thing, but the days of people blaming fucking America for the shit they're doing are over, right? Are over, okay? And it is important now, as a youth, as a man, as a woman, as anybody, that you really start having that come to God moment. You really start reapproaching your biases, because technology has changed the game. The technology of travel, of digital currency, of all of these things, all right? Like it's time to start being honest again, right? It's just time, you know? Here's something people don't think about that is totally politically incorrect to talk about. Human beings have deep internal drives and desires based off our epigenetic inheritance. One of those deep internal desires is to have a progeny to take care of us. The only people that don't really have that desire are disenfranchised males who are now in war mode because of the disenfranchisement that's been created artificially. Right? They just don't have it as much. You know, they still have it, but like their ancient brain is saying, oh, there are no females around, you need to go to fucking war to get females and to call the population. It's doing it automatically. It's not a politician. It's the result of the environment. The politicians just kind of like direct the energy towards their own ends, which fuck them, by the way. Right, well that if that's true, that means gay people, that includes gay people. They're humans, right? They too want a progeny, but now they're gay. So how are they going to get a progeny? How is a gay person who doesn't have their own kids going to create a progeny? To teach all the fucking... they got to teach their kids what fucking Harvey Milk is, right? Oh, wait, they don't have kids. They got to teach your kids what fucking Harvey Milk is. Okay, so gays are groomers. If you're a gay, you're a groomer. You're automatically a groomer. Or even if you're not personally a groomer, you have a stronger propensity to do grooming epigenetically than people who aren't, because you're not producing your own fucking children, and yet you still are going to want children. And let's face it, gay people are not especially good at self-discipline and controlling their lizard brain drives and lusts, right? Like that they're not good at that is self-fucking evident. Otherwise, they wouldn't be chasing wet holes for the sensation that it gives them. They would be controlling, well, I might want to chase wet holes, but like that's just a temporary thing, and there might be long-term consequences, right? Like they don't think like that. So they're self-evidently not very good at controlling those things. So the idea that they're going to be really good at controlling the desire to groom your fucking children, not high, right? What else? Oh, the tranny thing, right? Obviously, lopping off. I can't believe this has to be a conversation. Obviously, mutilating children's genitalia as a form of euthanization is not a sexual orientation or a gender. All right, it's a war crime. This is covert murder, right? Abortion too, technically, depending on who's running, it could be considered a war crime. I mean, just look at how many Indian doctors are doing abortions, and think to yourself, if an Indian girl went to that fucking abortion clinic, you think they'd still roll the three? You think they call her family? You know what I mean? Yeah, I just had to get this shit off my chest, you know. It's just, I'm tired of the bullshit, man. I'm tired of the groomers and the pedos and the fake Israelis moving here and pretending to be American and like trying to do shit so like we give them away fucking can't like just can we all come clean, right? Like I feel like I'm the only clean person in the world. I'm the only one telling the truth in the world. I'm the only one capable of just thinking about like cause and effect and like moral and ethical responsibilities of the world. I don't like saying moral responsibility, ethical responsibility, I guess. Like, I don't want to live in a world of trash, child rape, female rape, sexual abuse. I don't want to live in that world. And you're all creating it every day with your liberal bullshit. Like, the liberal is evil. They're evil. The science is out. The global data aggregation available through technology has revealed that certain positions are inherently evil if you define evil as destructive to the natural environment and leads to instances of rape, child abuse, and war. If you define that as evil, Well, the things that do that are inherent in the liberal philosophy. The extermination of women at higher rates than males because of abortion. The birthing of males at higher rates than women because of polygamous cult-like behavior, or polygamous cultural behavior, whatever word you want to use, right? You know, which once again includes OnlyFans managers in their 30 fucking house, right? And so it's just like, you know, I'm just spitballing here, but like, please call me, please. I would like one liberal who like really like thinks about this and to call me and be like, that's my goal, is for one fucking liberal to call me and be like, you're right, I was wrong. I'm going to leverage what I have to try and help you now because I have a sin that I am carrying from all the fucking harm I have caused in life by being an ignorant fucking moron. I would like one liberal person to fucking hit me up like that. Just one. Just fucking one, dog. Because the thing is, if there are no liberals hit me up, like, well, like, they're incapable of change. And so people who are like, see the writing on the wall now, they're in a difficult position where they have to exterminate these fucking people. And no one likes doing that. No one likes killing rabid animals. Right? I would shoot a rabid dog in a fucking heartbeat. I would shoot my own dog, who I've loved since fucking birth, in a heartbeat if it had fucking rabies and it was poisoning everything around it. Okay? Like, all you humans, you're just fucking, I'm an American, motherfucker. You're just animals to me. Alright? I'm an educated motherfucker. Right? There are entire other fucking countries who their entire country falls below the baseline of what Americans think is retarded. Like, physically, your whole country, we consider you retarded. Okay? And like, where's this whole myth of, like, this American ignorant shit? We've only been ignorant since we've had public schooling. And we haven't even been ignorant, we've just been indoctrination. Americans are some of the most fucking intelligent people on earth. Remain some of the most intelligent people on earth. Do you know how you know they're the most intelligent people on earth? Because they had guns before everybody else. Okay? And having firearms for 200 years of your fucking cultural history, sorry, let me rephrase. It's not they had guns. They had guns that were wide. You know, we had the fucking pistol. We had the Glock before fucking everybody. And when everybody's got a fucking Glock, people who rip people off and people who aren't intelligent and make dumb ideas about family and children and all these things, they tend to piss off the people around them, and now everyone's got a Glock, and so everyone shoots those motherfuckers. That's our culture. That's a period of epigenetic selection on like, the people who were not being retarded had more kids, and that's our fucking inheritance. That's why we got the fucking rocket ships. You know, whether or not they went to the moon, I'm not going to that, but the fact they went up in the fucking sky is pretty goddamn fucking obvious. You know? And it's just like, yeah. Another thing I would like, in addition to one fucking liberal hitting me up and realizing that they're guilty of just some horrendous shit by pushing this diseased fucking culture, you know another thing I would like? I like people who are like real Americans to start calling out people who fucking aren't. I would like people who are really from here start calling out people who aren't, especially these East Coast cunty fucking pimps, these fucking Trustafarians and faggy douchebag Israeli Zionists pretending to be fucking part of our culture, pretending that they're fucking Northern California, pretending as they import ghetto caliphate practices into our fucking society, including the creation of cardboard fucking houses to import retard slaves so they can get paid from fucking Section 8 government assistance. So we have a higher GDP. You know what? I don't give a fuck about the GDP, dude. I don't give a fuck about the GDP. If America, like, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, like, so, you know, think about what I said. You know, I'll put the population shit in the fucking comments here. But yeah, you know, if you're a liberal fucking cunt that wasted your whole fucking youth chasing dick and saying dumb shit like abortion's okay, like, I forgive you if you come clean. Every dude will forgive you if you come clean, right? But just because I forgive you doesn't make me responsible for you, right? And there's a lot of men in this fucking boat, right? And yeah, it's just like, there are people dying in Venezuela right now because for women's right to all fuck the same dude who doesn't ultimately give a shit about them and kicks them to the curb and becomes a pedophile. That's why people are dying in Venezuela. For the right of women to live under that and to create this phenomenon. So I don't want to hear any shit about like war and toxic masculinity. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Into 2026, I don't want to hear it anymore. And no one else should want to hear it anymore either. And everybody who's in government, who's pushing these positions, now that the data is out, now that the science is out, now that we have AI to do global data aggregation and like help us break down human physiology. There's a different word I'm trying to use, but I'll use physiology. It's kind of like a catchword. It's like physiogamy or something like that. I don't know how to. I can spell it in my head. I'm looking at the word in my head. I just don't know how to fucking pronounce it. But it's just like, yeah. So like, I would like all the liberal cunts to come clean, please, because this is not tenable. There's nowhere else to go. The cultures that most openly practice this have reduced their entire continent to a shithole. We didn't do that. They did that. All right. Like, they're the ones who have openly polygamous cultures. We're the ones where polygamy is still technically illegal in 50 states. The reason they are a shithole and we are not a shithole has to do with that practice. The reason we are becoming a shithole is because that practice is covertly infiltrating our fucking society through things like OnlyFans, Pornhub, the Playboy Mansion, all this shit, right? And that's all it is. That's literally all it is. The source of all evil. There you guys go. Right? The source of all evil. So now it's time to come clean and leverage your resources properly. And if you don't, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to do anything. I mean, I'm going to do shit, but like, the environmental stressors are going to create a purge in America. They're going to create a Nazi situation in America. Okay? If you do not get these fucking whores off the streets and into relationships, dumb old liberal cunts, if you don't do that, we're going to have a Nazi situation in fucking America. So could you pull your head out of your own fucking pussy long enough to do the right thing?